How Ali Abdaal built a multi-million-dollar empire from a dorm room. There's a guy who graduated from one of the most prestigious medical schools on the planet, spent years learning how to save human lives, and then decided that wasn't the plan. Not because medicine was hard, not because he failed, because he realized something most people never figure out, that the real leverage in modern life doesn't come from what you know. It comes from who's watching while you learn. His name is Ali Abdaal, and by the time he officially quit his job as a doctor, he was already making more money from YouTube than from the National Health Service. Here's what most people miss about his story. The money didn't come from going viral. It didn't come from sponsorships. It didn't even come, at first, from the course everyone talks about. It came from a single, quiet, strategic decision he made in his second year of medical school that most creators still haven't figured out. We're going to get to that. But first, let's understand what we're actually looking at here. Because the Ali Abdaal story isn't just a creator success story. It's a masterclass in how to engineer a media business from scratch, without investors, without a personal brand to start with, and without ever making a single video that went viral in the traditional sense. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how he built multiple income streams, what the actual sequence was, and what the single mechanism is that allowed him to scale past most creators who had bigger audiences than him. Let's go. Cambridge 2017. Ali Abdaal is a medical student. He's studying one of the most demanding curricula in the world. He has 0 subscribers, 0 videos, 0 revenue, and he opens a YouTube account. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, okay, another rags to riches creator story, stop. Because this is the part where most people get the narrative completely wrong. Everyone says Ali succeeded because he was at Cambridge. The credibility, the prestige, the implied intelligence, that's the angle everyone takes. And sure, it helped. But here's what nobody talks about. Cambridge almost killed his channel before it started. Think about it. He was making videos about how to study for med school entrance exams. That is the most niche, most boring, most unsexy topic you could possibly choose for a YouTube channel. There's no pop culture angle, there's no drama, there's no lifestyle appeal. It's study techniques for a test that 99% of people will never take. And yet, within 18 months, he had 100,000 subscribers. Why? Because he made a decision that most creators never make. He wasn't trying to grow a channel. He was trying to solve a specific problem for a specific person, and he was documenting the process of solving it while he himself was going through it. That is not the same thing as create content. That is something fundamentally different. He wasn't performing knowledge, he was sharing the search for it. And that gap, the gap between expert performance and authentic learning, is exactly where trust lives on YouTube. Here's where the plot thickens, and this is the part of the story that most breakdowns skip entirely. By 2019, Ali has crossed 100,000 subscribers. He's making some AdSense, maybe a few $100s a month. Not enough to quit medicine, not even close. And here's the question every creator faces at this point. Do you double down on content, or do you find another way to monetize while the channel grows? Most creators answer that question wrong. They either start dropping paid courses too early, before the trust is there, or they chase sponsorships and burn the audience's trust for short-term cash. Ali did something different. He went wide instead of deep. He started doing affiliate marketing. Not the lazy kind where you drop an Amazon link and pray. The systematic kind. He identified every single tool, software, and product he actually used. TubeBuddy, Skillshare, Epidemic Sound, Notion, Readwise, and he integrated them naturally into his content. By 2021, affiliate marketing alone was generating over $200,000 per year. From 1 year. From links. Let that number sit for a second. $200,000 from links in video descriptions. While he was still working as a doctor part-time, but that's still not the move that made him rich. That's just the foundation. The real inflection point in Ali Abdal's story comes in 2021, and it has nothing to do with a viral video. He launched the Part-Time YouTuber Academy, a cohort-based course, $995 to $5,995 per student depending on the tier, teaching people how to build a YouTube channel. Now, here's where most people get cynical. Oh, another creator selling a course about being a creator. And honestly, that cynicism is understandable. The space is full of people teaching what they haven't done. But this is where Ali's setup was different from almost everyone else in the market. He had spent 4 years building an audience of people who wanted to build YouTube channels. Not accidentally, not coincidentally, by design. His pivot from how to study for med school to productivity, tech, and how to build a life you love had one specific downstream effect. It attracted an audience of ambitious, educated, action-oriented people who were already fantasizing about doing what he was doing. He wasn't selling a course to his audience. He was selling a reflection of their desire back to them. The first cohort of PTYA sold out fast, then the second, then the third. By 2022, the Part-Time YouTuber Academy had generated over $4.5 million in total revenue. One single cohort launch made $400,000 in a few hours. His biggest launch cleared $1.9 million. That's not a course business. That's a media company with a course product. Now we need to talk about the architecture of the business, because this is where most creators completely misread what Ali actually built. At the surface level, people say, Ali makes money from YouTube ads, sponsorships, courses, affiliate deals, and a book. That's the list, that's the breakdown. But that framing misses the actual mechanism. What Ali built is a trust stack. Every layer of his business feeds the next layer, and the whole thing runs on a single fuel: perceived authenticity. Layer 1 is YouTube, free content, the engine of attention. Videos that rank in search, that get recommended, that bring in new subscribers every single day without him having to do anything after publishing. Layer 2 is the email list. This is the invisible asset. Ali has built a newsletter, originally called Sunday Snippets, now called Life Notes, with close to 300,000 subscribers. And here's the thing most creators don't understand. He doesn't primarily sell his courses to his YouTube audience. He sells to the email list. YouTube is for trust. Email is for conversion. Those are two completely different jobs, and mixing them up is why most YouTube businesses plateau. Layer 3 is the course itself. But not just as a product, as a content strategy. Every cohort creates new testimonials. Every student success story becomes a new piece of content. Every transformation he can point to on Twitter or in a video is more social proof that feeds back into Layer 1. Layer 4 is the book. Feel Good Productivity came out in late 2023. It hit the New York Times bestseller list. And here's the counterintuitive thing about a best-selling book in the creator economy. The book isn't primarily a revenue generator. It's a legitimacy multiplier. It gets him into rooms, onto podcasts, and in front of audiences that would never have found a YouTube video. It converts skeptics into believers, and believers become customers. 4 layers, each one amplifying the next. That's the architecture. But here's the thing that makes Ali's story genuinely interesting from a business standpoint. And this is the part that should make you uncomfortable. He scaled it with a team. By 2023, Ali had 18 full-time and part-time people working in his company. A general manager, Angus Parker, who handles daily operations so Ali can focus on content and product. A head of YouTube, editors, writers, operations people, a marketing team. Most creator economy discourse treats this as obvious. Build a team, scale the business. But think about what it actually means. Ali Abdal's face is on everything. His name is the brand. His voice is what people trust. And yet, the business runs without him making every decision. This is the leap that almost no creator successfully makes, because it requires trusting that your audience is buying into a value system, not just into you personally. If your audience is buying your personality, you can never scale. If they're buying your perspective, the lens you apply to productivity, to work, to life, then someone else can execute that lens in content, in customer service, in operations. Hali made that bet, and it paid off. His business generates somewhere between $4 million and $6 million per year in revenue, with a team lean enough to keep margins healthy. Now, let's address the thing that makes a lot of people uncomfortable about Ali Abdaal's success, because this wouldn't be an honest analysis if we didn't go there. There is a version of the critique that says, Ali is rich because he sells courses on how to be a YouTuber to people who want to be YouTubers like Ali, which means the product is circular. The business model only works because the business exists. Remove the income transparency, remove the Cambridge doctor turns YouTuber narrative, and does any of these still work? It's a fair question, and the honest answer is partially yes, partially no. Yes, the Cambridge credential gives him a head start that most creators don't have. Yes, the doctor who makes more money from YouTube than medicine, Hook, is extraordinary positioning that 99% of people can never replicate. And yes, a significant portion of his audience is attracted by the dream of doing what he did, which creates a self-referential loop where teaching YouTube success is itself a YouTube success. But here's the contrarian flip. None of that explains $200,000 per year in affiliate revenue. None of that explains a New York Times bestseller. None of that explains a podcast with millions of downloads. Those are separate value propositions that stand on their own. The productivity content works because it's genuinely well-researched and well-produced. The book landed on the bestseller list because a major publisher believed in it and a real audience bought it. The origin story opened the door. The quality is what kept people inside. So what do you actually take away from this? What's the one thing, if you're building a channel right now, that changes how you think after watching this video? It's this. Ali Abdaal didn't build a YouTube channel. He built a conversion funnel that happens to look like a YouTube channel. Every video has a job, not just to entertain, not just to educate. To move someone from stranger to subscriber, from subscriber to email list, from email list to customer, from customer to advocate. That sequence, that pipeline, is what separates a creator with 10 million subscribers and no business from a creator with 2 million subscribers and a 7-figure company. Most people optimize for views. Ali optimized for the pipeline. The views are a byproduct. Here's where Ali is now, and here's why the next chapter might be the most interesting one. He's moved beyond the YouTuber Academy as his primary product. He's been building the Productivity Lab, a community and membership for ambitious people who want to work better. He's built out the podcast Deep Dive, which serves a different segment of the audience than the YouTube channel. He's exploring what comes after the creator identity, which is, arguably, the hardest transition in the business. Because here's the ceiling that every creator hits eventually. At some point, you stop being able to grow by making more content. The algorithm saturates. The audience has seen everything. The differentiation that made you unique in 2017 is now a template that 50 other people are running. The creators who survive that ceiling are the ones who transition from being a media personality to being a media company, from being a face to being a franchise. Ali is in the middle of that transition right now. Whether he sticks the landing is a genuinely open question. But the playbook he ran to get here, niche authority, trust stack, email-first monetization, course as flagship product, team as leverage, that playbook is real, it's documented, it works. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, you already know that we spend a lot of time reverse engineering exactly this kind of system, not to copy it, but to extract the mechanism, strip it from the context and figure out what's actually transferable. Because Ali's specific story, not transferable. The Cambridge credential is not something you can acquire. The doctor narrative is not something you can manufacture. But the architecture underneath it, that's a different conversation entirely. And that's exactly the conversation we're going to have next.